Woman jailed for unpaid parking tickets even though she paid them. A black man held at gunpoint by a police officer, then arrested on 8 different charges just for sitting in his car. The U.S. president depicted as a chimpanzee. Federal investigators say all of this is going on inside the police department in the city of Ferguson in the U.S. state of Missouri. If Ferguson sounds familiar, it's because one of its white police officers killed an unarmed black teenager last year, sparking months of protest across the United States. CCTV's Rowie Ruttenberg reports.
The U.S. Justice Department report confirms what many people, particularly black Americans, say they already knew, that Ferguson, Missouri's predominantly white police department repeatedly discriminated against the city's African-American residents. But the report went even further to quantify that racism. Black Americans account for just 2/3 of Ferguson's population, but the report found that between 2012 and 2014, their cars were most frequently pulled over and searched. They also received nearly all of the tickets and fines from Ferguson police, and they disproportionately filled the jails, accounting for 93% of arrests.
Now, of course, violence is never justified, but seen in this context, amid a highly toxic environment defined by mistrust and resentment, stoked by years of bad feelings, and spurred by illegal and misguided practices, it's not difficult to imagine how a single tragic incident set off the city of Ferguson like a powder keg.
Attorney General Holder commissioned the report and recommended a number of institutional changes for the city of Ferguson, its police department, and its courts. The report also said no charges for the white police officer, Darren Wilson, who shot Michael Brown. On Wednesday, Brown's family said it was disappointed by that decision, but, quote, encouraged that the police department will be held accountable for its history of bias. Justice officials say they reviewed more than 35,000 pages of documents, including racist emails sent internally between police. One from 2008 questioned how long the U.S. President Barack Obama would serve. It rhetorically asks, what black man holds a steady job for 4 years?
If they would say that about the President of the United States, what do you think they would say about poor black men and poor black women living in a racialized area of this city? It is disgusting, and it should be dealt with harshly.
White House officials said they support the report and its conclusions, but noted
this particular issue is much broader than just one community, and that there are communities across the country that are rightfully taking another look at these issues, and that is a good thing for the country.
it's been more than 50 years since the Civil Rights Act in the U.S. guaranteed black Americans equal protection. This memorial to Martin Luther King Jr. in Washington commemorates the struggle leading up to that and since. For many, Wednesday's report by the Justice Department serves as a reminder there's still a long way to go. Rowie Ruttenberg, CCTV in Washington.